alcoholism progressed to the point that it was chronic.
I struggle with depression and anxiety.
We have multiple members of our family that have been treated for chemical dependency.
In 2003, I started relapsing.
From 13, I started smoking marijuana.
I was 21, I had a baby, I had a part-time job, I was homeless.
It progressed to prescription pills and then eventually to using heroin every day.
Family, friends, everything that you can think of I've lost, some of it a couple of times over.
I wake up in the morning and sometimes feel like I can't get out of bed.
In our family, the abnormal became the normal.
I didn't know what to do, I didn't know where I was going.
I didn't know really what was wrong.
Addiction's just fueling inside of you, ready to take you over at any given time.
You get out of bed and the only thing you can possibly think about is getting that fix.
You would rather feel physical pain than the mental pain.
Every day you're wondering, like, what can I do? Like, what did I do wrong?
Our son had overdosed and ended up on a respirator for a week.
And the drinking was terrible, it was very chronic. It almost killed me a few times.
From there, life became completely a disaster.
You lay there at night wondering if they're all right, and you just hope that they will accept the treatment that they can get.
I come from a background, alcoholism, mental illness, those types of things are not acceptable. It was a problem for me when I was 14 years old, and I'm, 52 now. It's been a problem for me all my life. I've been in and out of detox, in and out of treatment. I'd work someplace for a while till I got tired of it. Then I'd go on a big drinking binge. After about 3 weeks, I was really quite sick. I have a pretty long history with the streets. Not in the shelter, but actually on the streets. I struggle with the drinking, always believing that it was the drinking that was the real problem, but it was also not understanding the mental illness. I think the moment that I understood I either needed to do something or just continued to do what I was doing until I died.
Stay with people, you're trying to save money. You can't really save money because you're spending money trying to help out the people you're staying with. So it was like a struggle. With 2 kids, it was like a day-to-day struggle.
I got 11 points.
My son has really bad asthma, so he had got really sick. And when he got really sick, like, I was at someone else's house, and they smoked, and they used to smoke in the house, and it was like so stressful because it was like my son's sick, and like this was like the worst of the worst. Like, I didn't know what to do. He had just came home from the hospital. Yeah, I think that was like the worst night. Like, I just felt like bad as a mom, period. Like, I couldn't like do everything he needed me to do for him.
Basically, from living a normal life to being a 20-something-year-old kid with no job, no school, no family that even would trust you to come to their house for dinner, and no place to live, no one even wanted you in their house for 5 minutes. Food became lower priority than drugs, and that's all that mattered. As bad as you want it to change, you can't, because it feels like the world is ending and you're gonna die if you don't have your drug. Became one big fiasco, and I got arrested and charged with a bunch of crimes for things I would never do normally or even consider doing. Had I not been able to come here from jail, I probably either would be in prison still or would have probably died.
Chemical dependency has just kind of wrapped itself around the whole family. I originally sobered up February 23rd, 1982, and had several years of sobriety, and went through college, got married, had 3 children, a successful career. In 2003, I started relapsing.
It was hard when Tom went through all of the chemical dependency, but it seemed to be even harder with the grandchildren.
I have 2 sons that have been treated, and I think we had spent nearly $200,000 around the country, sending our oldest son to different treatment centers and halfway houses and boarding schools. It was clearly a battle that we were losing, and as the addiction spiraled, all of the resources that we had, like insurance and reserve cash, just all went away. When he relapsed on some pretty hard drugs, and he ended up in a coma.
Laying there in the hospital with all of these tubes going every direction, and he was given his last rites.
He was there about a week and we almost lost him. You know, our family used to be just entrenched in active addiction, and now it is fully engaged in recovery. Every time we've come to Tellurian, it's just been a great experience.
You know, thanks to the help that I got at Tellurian, I've been sober now for 2.5 years.
It gives them the opportunity to start over again.
Without Tellurian, I don't know. I don't know if I would still be homeless or what would be my future for my children.
Everything they offer, from counseling to the support that you need in every part of your life to fix your relationship with family, and then get a job and go back to school and do the things you need to do to live a normal life again. I'm in school like almost straight A's for the last 3 semesters. My parents and our relationship is like better than it was before it all went downhill years ago.
Both of my kids are in school full time. They have a place to call home. I've learned what it is to have good rental history. I've learned what it is to have a foundation and to appreciate that.
They've been given a new life. Both of my sons are in college and doing well.
I have went from being a pile in the middle of the street to being a worthwhile human being.
My oldest son is getting married this summer, and we're just real grateful.
And I show up for my life every day now, instead of just wait for it to end.